Happy Saturday here on Dom's Corner. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Obviously, I'm your host, Dom Martino, but we are sitting here with the one, the only, Adam Leach from the Red Eclectic. How you doing today, Adam?
I'm all right. How you doing, brother?
Very well, man. It's all about trying to survive the world right now, but I'm keeping
Oh,
my
I
head
hear
up.
you.
I know we're running on a very tight schedule, very, very tight. So I want to get you out of here on time, but it was important to me that you kind of talked a little bit about what you're doing at the Red Eclectic. So go
All
ahead.
right. Well, that means a lot to me. So obviously we're a little tight today because I got to go adopt a cat, but we'll do this again in a longer format. But anyway, obviously nobody watching knows who I am. So I'm Adam. I worked with Dom when we worked at FYE. And then I moved away to pursue some goals of mine. I went to school to be an audio engineer in Arizona and then moved to Los Angeles to chase that dream. But something that's always been a passion of mine is personal growth, helping people overcome their demons. As somebody that has struggled with anxiety and depression and stuff myself, it's important to me to help other people get through it. And it sort of ended up turning into me abandoning my audio dreams a little bit and instead going towards a different route in helping other people. And I'm still going to be using my audio skills, but instead it's turned into something different. So the Red Eclectic was just a personal brand I created. It started as just an Instagram and Facebook page just for daily motivation and stuff. And then I decided, let me put my audio skills to use. And now I'm preparing and planning to start a YouTube channel and a podcast here pretty soon. So it's going to be awesome.
That was going to be my next question is can we expect a Red Eclectic podcast coming up here shortly? And you just answered that. So
Oh, yes, sir.
that's exciting. I cannot wait to tune into that every week. I love just spending some time scrolling through your Instagram on a daily basis. I think my favorite post so far was definitely what was it? Don't crap in your yard or something along those lines. That was
Yeah, don't crap in your own yard.
that was my favorite, I think, and it meant a lot to me too because I was at a point with this channel where I felt like I didn't want to move on, and just some of your posts kind of helped me and motivated me to keep going, and some of the things you've said to me in conversation personally, and guys, I can't stress this enough. Please check out what the Red Eclectic is doing, and I'm gonna put all your stuff in the description here so people can check it out.
Well, that means a lot to me, man.
Yeah, man.
So, I know a lot of people look at like motivational accounts and think it's all cheesy and like, oh, who's this person that thinks they're better than me? But the truth is, like, at least with me and a lot of other people that do this, the truth is the messages that I put on there because a lot of times I need to hear it. And I'm sort of almost talking to myself, and it's hard to give yourself advice, so that ends up being me writing or talking to other people through camera. So
Yeah, you're telling me this is why I'm booking guests now because it's hard to like do a podcast on your own and just I
for
like
sure.
being able to bounce off other people, and I know that you and I always had a ball back in our FYE days, so
Oh
I
yeah,
had to get you on here for sure, and
the dream team.
the dream team exactly. Well, was there anything else that you where can people find the Red Eclectic? Just go do you is it just the Red Eclectic across all platforms or
Yep, on Facebook and Instagram, it's just the Red Eclectic. I have a YouTube channel. I don't have anything on it yet. It's
okay.
also titled the Red Eclectic, but at some point I will decide a schedule and start uploading videos. And I haven't been completely firm on a name for a podcast, whether I'm going to go with the Red Eclectic or something else, but that'll be coming. You'll hear about it.
Okay, great. Make sure you send me a link to that channel too. We can get some early subscribers going over there. I could get
For
it
sure.
out to people. So yeah, and I hate to cut you off on this because I know it's important to you, but we are pretty short on time, so we'll
Let's
just
get
go
the ball
get
rolling.
going with the podcast. So I gotta tell you, what I watched. What was this? Not yesterday, but the day before. I checked out this Beastie Boys documentary. Did you watch this yet?
I did.
You did. What'd you think, man?
I did. Dude, I loved it. Honestly, it was different, The documentary style that I've been into lately
Yeah.
has been kind of like if you watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
I just started it. I haven't finished it yet, so it's great so
Incredible.
far, man. It's great so far.
Incredible. But that's sort of the format I've really been digging with documentaries lately. We're seeing more of that format. But the Beastie Boys documentary was a little different. You know, they did it like live to an audience, and
I
it was
know.
very informal feeling. It felt very Beastie Boyish.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. And I didn't realize like how funny those guys are, dude. Like, I
Hilarious.
mean, I know their videos were always funny, man. I remember watching their videos back on MTV back in the day, you know. And their videos were always funny, but these guys are so personable and they just connect with the audience on such a level that I think that anybody can enjoy this even if they weren't a Beastie Boys fan prior, if that makes sense. Because
It'll
for
turn
me,
you into one.
yeah, I think so. Like for me, like obviously, like License to Ill is like the best, like one of the best hip hop albums of all time. But like
Yeah,
when
easily.
you watch this documentary, dude, like I'm in on all of it now. Like I went from a casual Beastie Boys fan to like a massive Beastie Boys fan just overnight, you know, from this
No,
documentary.
I feel you there big time. License to Ill is obviously one of the most iconic hip hop records, but
Yeah,
you know, as you can see, kind of in the documentary, they had a little bit of a fall off fan wise after that for a period, and that has kind of extended. You know, most people listen to License to Ill and then sort of, kind of casually just dismissed the rest of their records. But
yeah, dude.
this is making me revisit some of their other records. So,
Yeah, man, me too. And I loved seeing that intergalactic music video at the end too because that was
oh
just
yeah,
such a throwback. And the other thing, like, I thought it was really interesting when they got like Yauk was talking on there about how he thought Paul's Boutique was gonna just blow up because he thought it was so much better than License to
oh
Ill,
yeah.
right? And like I think that happens with so many artists, and so many artists can relate to that, where they have this first big hit, and then they go to do their second thing, and they think it's gonna be massive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the people will respond to it. So
Right. They in the artist's own mind, it's like an artistic masterpiece,
yeah,
and
exactly.
that's a struggle with being an artist. Really, any type of artist in general is that when you're creating something, your fans can't feel what you're going through on a personal level. They can't feel the type of creativity you had to tap into, the emotion you had to tap into. They
Yeah,
can't
man.
feel that. All they hear is the music, and if it doesn't hit them in a specific way, they just dismiss it like, "Oh, that wasn't as good." And the
Yeah.
artist is left here like, "Dude, I poured my blood into this."
I know, and it's a bummer, I think, but and I went back and listened to Paul's Boutique after hearing about that, and even myself, I appreciate it more now because I remember trying to give it a listen way back in the day, and now that I like know the guys or feel like I know the guys on a personal level after this documentary,
Hmm.
it's changed my entire perspective on that, and I think it's amazing. And Spike Jones directed this, which I thought was cool because he did a lot of their music videos as well, and. Uh, I thought that the animation, the crazy shit or something animation thing that they did was pretty
Oh
funny
yeah,
throughout.
that was hilarious. It felt so haphazard and accidental, and I was like, "That's so perfect," because that's
Yeah,
like the epitome of the Beastie Boys
right.
is haphazard and accidental.
Right. This is almost like, in a strange way, the Beastie Boys' final performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In its own right. And I thought that was really cool. So, that is on. It's Apple TV Plus, right? Or
Yes, sir.
yeah. So everybody should check that out on Apple TV Plus. I gotta tell you about this other thing that I watched. An American Pickle. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
Okay, so this is a Seth Rogen movie. It's a HBO Max exclusive. And basically what it is you're gonna think this is ridiculous, but he it's set 100 years ago before our time, and Seth Rogen is playing the guy from 100 years ago. I can't remember. It's Herschel something but or other, but he falls into he's working at a pickle factory, and
I like it already, man.
this big ass pickle. I knew you would love this. Falls into this big ass jar, or not jar, but this big ass like tub of pickle juice, and the pickle juice preserves his body for the 100 years up until up until our time. And so the only family he has left is his great grandson, who is also played by Seth Rogen. So you get two Seth Rogens in one movie. And dude, I gotta tell you, it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
That
But
sounds like a very Seth Rogen type of movie
it's
to
a
me.
very Seth Rogen type of movie. But what I found to be most interesting about this is that it actually, out of all the Seth Rogen movies, this one has the most heart out of all of them. Like, I found it to
Really?
be really crazy. Yeah, it's not an amazing movie by any means. There's definitely some plot holes you can pick at, and in a way, the plot holes almost add to the comedy. And there was a couple parts at the beginning where I definitely felt like they removed stuff from the film. But then once it like really starts getting going, you find yourself laughing at the outrageous ridiculousness of it, and I really liked it. I recommend you check it out, man.
I'll check it out. You
It's
know, man, a lot of my favorite movies are movies that are like you watch it and you recognize like that wasn't that great of a movie, but holy crap, was that a great movie?
it was pretty good. Like I was surprised, and Seth Rogen actually, in a strange way, this is the performance of his career. Like he gives a real solid performance because he has to carry most of the movie on his own, but not only that, play two different Seth Rogens or two different characters in one movie, and it really feels seamless when they're having conversations with each other. You really forget pretty quickly that both characters are being played by Seth Rogen, so I think that speaks volumes to.
Oh, I'm into it. I'll check it
You
out.
gotta
You
check
know,
it.
I love some pickles, so if it's got to do with dill pickles, not sweet pickles, I don't do sweet pickles.
I think it's all dill, man. It's all dill.
I'm all in,
They
dude.
you'll see, but there's a lot of salt involved with these pickles, so
All right.
you'll love it. Moving on, we'll go ahead and run through the news real quick. So the first piece of news that I wanted to talk about was this Mulan thing, and I was excited that you were able to come on today because I remember years ago you were talking to me about Mulan, and you swore that this would be the best live action Disney film yet. And I remember doubting it, being like, no way. I don't think that this is going to be the best one. And I remember saying that Lion King would probably be the best one. And I go and see Lion King, and I got to be honest, I was pretty disappointed with that one. So, and the funny thing is I'm stoked for this Mulan movie because in my opinion, from the trailers, they're doing it the right way. My
Oh
opinion of
yeah.
it was that they were going to like add the music and make it a musical, which to me would be the wrong way to adapt it to live action, especially
Yeah.
like a epic story like this. Music is fantastic in the original Mulan. It's some of the best from a Disney animated film, but
So good.
it's amazing. It's got one of the best soundtracks, but I think if you're going to adapt it to live action, I want to see something different, which The Lion King did not give me, which is why I ended up so disappointed with that. So I owe you an apology. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I do owe you an
We'll see.
apology. Anyway, so
Well, Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies in general. I think my
right,
favorite Disney movie is and always will be Beauty and the Beast, but Mulan, I used and abused that movie.
yeah,
So, and when I originally watched the trailer, I was kind of skeptical because, and I think a lot of people are going to approach it in a skeptical way because you approach it as, you know, the kid that watched it and you're
yeah,
like, well, where's Mushu, dude?
yeah.
Where the heck is Mushu? And then you're like, where's the music? What's going on here? And you get all mad about it. But when you look into it, I actually really respect it because the
Yeah,
story of Mulan, you know, it's an actual folklore tale from like 6th century Chinese culture.
yeah,
And
man,
they're trying to go the authentic route to tell the real story. And Mushu wasn't a part of that. And obviously, it wasn't a musical in the
absolutely.
actual tale. But something I will say I'm super stoked for is the soundtrack because when I was watching the trailer, I was like, that soundtrack sounds amazing. Like it had elements of the music from the original movie, like the one song she sings, what's it called, Reflections.
Yeah,
Um,
something like that.
and you can hear that playing, and it's all big and orchestral, you know, film score style. And I'm super stoked about the soundtrack, but I
Right.
can't find a date for it yet.
I agree. Yeah, dude, when that I think it is Reflections when it starts up in that trailer, dude. I remember just getting The hair stood up on my arms, man.
Goosebumps, dude.
And more than when I watched that Lion King trailer and Circle of Life started. Like, so I was pretty excited about that. The news that has come out, and I tried to pull up the article, that my stuff started lagging, so I cannot pull that up, unfortunately. However, the basics of the news piece that came out was essentially that it is going to Disney Plus next month, and you have to be, well, obviously you have to be a subscriber, but the problem is, the kicker anyway, is that you have to pay an extra $30 on top of that. So, but you also get to keep Mulan on your service.
Okay.
However, the other kicker is that if you cancel the service and then come back to the service, you will no longer have Mulan, in which you have to pay the $30 again. So, Adam,
and there's a lot of fine print there.
Exactly. So my question to you is, you think it'd be worth it?
Shoot, man, $30, 30 bones.
Yeah, it's.
Go
ahead.
The question is, man, I don't know. So you pay $30 just for the movie?
On Disney Plus, on top of your $7.99 that you're already paying, or $6.99, I can't remember.
It's a one-time $30 fee.
One-time $30 fee, but you get to keep it on the service.
That's like, dude, that's like paying for it on Blu-ray or 4K, like in physical form. That's like buying an actual movie. I was gonna say, going to the movie theater, you're gonna pay what, $7, unless you're in Los Angeles and you're gonna pay $500,000 to see a movie.
Right. But I know you're excited for Mulan, so I gotta ask, are you gonna pay it?
I'll think about it. I'll probably wait a little bit, honestly, to see what they're gonna do, because they can't charge $30 for it forever. Eventually, they're just gonna put it on the service.
Right. I would like to offer a different perspective to this, though, too. If you're going to the theater with 3 people, right?
Right.
You're paying $10 a ticket anyway.
That's true.
If you get, like, say it's you, I know you don't have a kid, but you, your kid, and your wife, right? And you guys, 3 of you are going, right? For a family night, it's pretty viable when you think about it. And you also don't got to spend the extra money on concessions. You would just pay regular price for your own popcorn that you would get at the I don't know, Walmart or whatever, you know. So I'm thinking, for a family, this sounds really viable, and you get to keep the movie, and you can pause, rewind whenever you want, right? Which you can't do in the theater. And so I
think it really depends on the viewer in this case.
I do too, man. I agree. I'm gonna probably pay it just because I got to get a review.
Oh, I know you will.
I know. Now the other thing that makes me excited is it probably will be in 4K, since most of Disney Plus's content is. So you got that going for you too. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. And I could honestly see the complaints. And now the problem is personally, if you ask me, I think they should have waited for the theaters to open back up, and maybe not open back up, but open back up to where we're safe, you know, because I know that they're planning to open back up earlier than they probably should, but like next year, next summer, you know, see where we're at. I think that's what they should have done personally, because it bums me out that I can't actually go to see this at a theater. So there's that part of it, but I don't know, man. That's just kind of my perspective on this whole thing.
You know, overall, just like in a slightly different topic, when all of this is over, it's going to be interesting to see if the movie industry does change a little bit as far as theater viewing and stuff, because, you know, we've been kind of on this lockdown quarantine thing, at least in California. You know, they've got us locked up pretty good, and we've been like that for 5 or 6 months now. So it's changing the viewing habits of consumers like big time, and you have to think that it's going to cause a ripple effect and maybe affect how studios decide to release movies. And, you know, are we going to see, I've seen people speculate, maybe we're going to see shorter theater times. Like maybe movies only go to theaters for a week or 2 and then go straight to streaming. You know, we could see a pretty rapid shift, and, you know, I don't know, just got to roll with the punches. You know, the times change.
Yeah, man. And I it's an excellent point. I think one of the things I'm looking forward to when this is all said and done, as far as the movie industry goes, is definitely like maybe some of the creativity that came out of it too. They talk about the big recession we had, what was back in the '70s or whatever, and movie industries were looking to get hot young directors who would make movies for like half the price, and
Hmm.
out of that we got Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, the greatest directors of our time, and making the greatest films of our time. We got Jaws, we got Star Wars, all out of that, all out of the economy being at like an all-time low, so I'm really looking forward to the creativity that comes out of this, and I think it's going to change the movie industry, hopefully for the better. I mean, and it's interesting to see, uh, we're viewing things just uh, straight from VOD right now, and it's just an interesting, weird way, and it's changing the way we're watching movies. It's not just about but then again, if you ask any executive or any CEO of a movie studio, they're going to tell you, without the theaters, we'd be crushed. So it will be
Yeah.
interesting to see what happens there. So we're going to move on to the next topic. So I wasn't sure if I was going to report on this or not. I got sent a story this morning, and I wasn't sure how legit it was because the source wasn't very good. But so I was waiting to see if other people reported on this, and luckily they did. Uh, so this is all to do with the Mandalorian season 2 trailer, which should be dropping. And it's still a rumor because nobody's backing this from the studio. Um, I was excited I was able to get a Star Wars story on here too when you were on, but
Oh yeah.
uh, it's supposed to be dropping with the NBA playoffs either the 21st or the 22nd. Did you watch the first season of Mandalorian?
Oh, I sure did. I binged it, dude.
Did you love it?
I loved it. Yeah, I plowed right through it.
I think it is genuinely some of the best Star Wars we've had in a long time, and I love the way that it's building.
Yeah,
These
it's freaking cool. I mean, Megan actually, she got me to start it.
yeah
Um, I was gonna wait because I wanted to wait until all the episodes were out because I was like, I am not watching episode one right when it drops because then I'm gonna have to wait for episode two and then wait for episode three. So I was like, we're just gonna wait so that we can watch them because I know I'm gonna binge them. And she got all antsy and just put on one of them before they were all out. I think they still had two more to drop, and sure enough, we plowed through most of them in a day.
yeah man. It's pretty incredible. I did the week per week, so you're a very lucky man. I'll give you that. Yeah, that was. But it was always kind of fun. I would wake up honestly at um, it was. I think they aired on Fridays, but I would wake myself up at like 6:30 in the morning and check them out just so I could kind of have that little treat before I had to start my day. And I'm looking forward to another season. What are you hoping to see from a Mandalorian season 2 trailer?
Trailer.
Yes.
Hmm. Honestly, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because with trailers, you know how I am with trailers. Sometimes I'm the type of person that I don't really like it when they give away too much. I
Yeah.
kind of want it to be a little bit of a surprise.
Oh, me
But
too, man. Me
at
too.
the same time, I want them to capture you a little bit, just give you hints of detail. You know, kind of like what they did with the newer Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, man.
Um, except for the last one where they straight up gave away the biggest secret for the movie in the trailer, and I was like super excited, but also like, why'd you just give that away?
Right. Right. I wonder how
But
much, because those reviews on Rise of Skywalker were not good, let's be honest. So I almost
yeah,
wonder how it would have kind of changed the trajectory of the reviews had they not given away the Palpatine spoiler. You,
me
you
too.
wonder that sometimes because trailers can ruin movies, man. But
They can. They
um,
do all the time.
um, yeah, man. I always wonder though, in terms of the sorry, in terms of the Mandalorian season 2 trailer, do you think that we're going to have kind of that big Star Wars surprise at the end of it? Because they always, I feel like if there's one thing one thing a lot of the Star Wars trailers do is they definitely kind of hit you with that big like moment or surprise, kind of like you were talking about Palpatine with Rise of
Yep.
Skywalker, or what was it, Join Me or something at the end of Last Jedi that they did, or something that makes the audience really freak out. Do you think that they're going to do that with the Mandalorian season 2, or do you think that they're going to hold back a little bit more?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're pretty good at putting the hook in your mouth usually.
Yeah,
I feel like they'll give us something. They'll give us a little bit of bait at least.
yeah, I like maybe like some of that misdirection that they typically do.
Yes.
Because the whole, like I said, the Rey and Kylo Ren thing at the end of the Last Jedi trailer was a total misdirect. I think that this trailer is gonna end with some pretty cool. I think we're gonna see some lightsabers in this trailer. I think at the very least they're gonna
I
put
hope
that.
so.
They're gonna throw that in there to kind of freak people out a little bit. We
Yeah, I'm
definitely
into it.
you definitely know. I don't know if you heard this because what was the guy at the end who had the dark saber? Moff Gideon, the actor. Gustavo Fring. What's his name? Giancarlo Esposito. He had.
I would have never said that right off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. Uh, uh, he had said something in a tweet like had some fun doing these lightsaber scenes or something like that. So I think that they're definitely going to tease us with a little bit of that. Now, outside of the trailer, what would you like to see from The Mandalorian season 2, just in general? I know that you say you don't care because these are new stories and new characters, and I,
Hmm.
I, I understand the sort of ambiguity that they kind of leave at the end of the first season, to where it's like anything can happen, which I think that's how we all kind of felt after The Force Awakens going into The Last Jedi, right? But what's something outside of the lightsabers? Because I already did that one that you would like to see personally, Mandalorian season 2.
Um, I think you know, I mainly just want to see really good character development. That's something that as I watch more stuff, I appreciate in movies and shows in general is just
Yeah,
really strong character development, getting you extremely attached to characters. And I don't know, man. With a new series, the most exciting thing about a new Star Wars series is the fact that everything is kind of a mystery, and the people are brand new. And what is kind of a struggle with current
hmm,
Star Wars fans is the fact that it is new because we have all of these characters in the Star Wars universe that we're familiar with from the movies and the animated shows and stuff like that, and we're so attached to them that when they do decide to do something new and we have new characters with new actors, we kind of start judging it a little more because we're so attached to our old ways and our
dude.
old
Yeah, yeah.
characters. So I just want to see really good character development. I'm open to new characters, new actors, whatever they want to do. I'm super excited to expand the universe. I just want them to really not get lazy with the writing and develop the characters so that we fall in love with them just as much as we did in the original movies.
Dude, I totally agree with you. I don't think, I mean, you really hit the nail on the head. The one thing that I would say, except for what you just said, for me, is that the first season, and don't get me wrong, I like this for a first season. They kind of did it like it all connected at the end, but it was almost very Adventure of the Week format. You know what I mean? Like I got to be honest, that one where he went to Tatooine, that episode I wasn't a big fan of. I thought that some of the actors in there were,
Which episode was that? Was that episode? Was it 5? It was
yeah,
somewhere in the
it
middle,
was
right?
5. I think you're right with 5. It was the guy that kept saying, "Hey, man, no," I wish that guy would have went away, but
I specifically remember looking over at Megan and going, "This episode's a little cheesy."
yeah. I don't root against actors ever, but I don't think that guy's getting a job in Hollywood ever again. He played that. It was something I don't remember his name. Who cares? But Yeah, so like I just kind of want to get away from the adventure of the week, and the other thing in that episode, yeah, it's cool to see Tatooine, but you know, part of the point of the show, in my opinion, is to explore new characters in the galaxy,
Yeah.
is to get away from the Skywalkers and everything that they stood for. It's like we've seen Tatooine about a billion times, so I just want them to kind of stick with the format of at least, uh, you know, uh diving into these new characters and developing them so much further, but I want them to avoid the format of Adventure of the Week. I think it's kind of time to have like a
Hmm.
straight up story all the way through it.
And
Yeah,
the good thing about revisiting old things, like going back to old planets and bringing back old characters and
yeah,
similar story formats, the good thing about it is it's really familiar and it gets all of the old Star Wars heads like, oh, I'm interested. But at the same time, when you introduce something old, you also open yourself up to be criticized because people are going to be like, well, did they do it justice?
yeah,
Like,
man.
so you open yourself to a whole new set of criticisms. So with it being, Star Wars is like, it's so endless and adventurous, and it's this endless universe with all these different galaxies and planets and stuff. So you know
Can't agree more.
throw me a bunch of new galaxies, new planets, new types of characters. Like, just, you can revisit some old stuff from time to time, but yeah, I'm with you here. I'd love to see a lot of brand new stuff that we've never seen before.
Okay, I can't agree more, man. Can't agree more. We're kind of short on time, so we're gonna move on. There's something I did want you to do. Have you heard about these Haribo sugar-free gummy bears before? You know anything about these?
I mean, I know about the gummy bears.
You
I
know
mean,
about the gummy bears?
I know about Haribo gummy bears in general.
Okay. Do you? Okay. I want you to. Do you have access to your Facebook?
Yeah.
I just sent you an article, and in this article, there are sugar-free Haribo gummy bear reviews. You're gonna hate me for doing this. I want you to try to get through the first. Try to read the first 3 reviews of these that are on there. There were a ton on Amazon, and I just found out today that Amazon actually banned them from their site.
Okay, where am I going here? Did you tag me in something? I
I
don't see it.
messaged you. It should be in your messenger right now. Hold on. Let me make sure I sent it.
I don't have any messages
Oh,
yet.
yeah, here. Let me get it. Here we go. I didn't send it. My bad. Let me pull this back up. Um, anyway, so basically, what these are, to give you just kind of an idea while we wait here. Um, people apparently, I just found this out. People eat these sugar-free gummy bears, and apparently these things work better than laxatives. So I that's the word on this. So I'm trying to get you this review here, these reviews here, and I want you to try to read 3 of these, and I want to see if you do any better than I did when I was reading these the other day.
Okay.
Just because I know you're gonna have a hard time with these, but here, hang on 1 second. Okay, I got it. I should be sending it right now. Did you get it?
There it is.
All right, pull her
All
up,
right.
and there's like there's an article at the top, and try to read these reviews and
Okay.
go ahead and read them out loud too. That makes it more difficult.
Number one. I already know I can't get through this. What came out of me felt like someone tried to funnel Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I swear, my sphincters were screaming. I felt like my delicate starfish was a gaping maw projectile vomiting a torrential flood of toxic waste. 100% liquid, flammable liquid, napalm in all caps.
Oh my god.
What the heck, dude? Okay, number 2. That's fitting. Be sure to also buy a tub of OxyClean with this to get the blood and diarrhea stains out of your underwear, clothes, furniture, pets, loved ones, ceiling fans. Wow, ceiling fans. Dude, what the heck? How many of these are there? I'm going to read all of these later.
Yeah, you have to, man. It's got to be a hobby of yours.
Number 3, I saw the product reviews and told some coworkers, so we bought a bag. Because who doesn't want to spend the workday on the toilet and get paid, right? I feel you there. Brought them in yesterday morning, and a bunch of guys immediately downed a handful each. Within half an hour, they were in the bathroom. Best moment of the day was when one of them, who had been in the bathroom for a half an hour by that point, texted one of the others, if you think it's a fart, it's not. Oh, man. Wise words in general. Never trust a fart, dude.
Yeah. Did you see that meme? Have you seen that meme of the guy in the bathtub?
No.
Literally, the meme is never trust. Never trust. I can't even say it without laughing. Never trust a fart. And he's sitting in a tub full of shit, man, like liquid shit, and he just has the biggest fucking smile on his face. It's amazing.
That's so gross.
I read one of those gummy bear reviews the other day, though, and I was hoping I was able to find it again to send it to you. But it said, so the guy was like, so I file my tax check, and what was it? I file my tax check and only have, I had to pay the state, so I only had $10 left in my bank account. But unfortunately, laxatives were $10 plus tax on Amazon. You see where I'm going with this? On Amazon Prime. So he's like, so I saw these, I saw these gummy bears, $10, 2-day free shipping with my Prime account. He's like, and let me tell you, man, these things are the jam. Like, it was one of my favorite reviews ever. Dude.
The jam. Dude, when I was little, my dad used to eat these chocolates. They were like chocolates in the heart box that you would get your wife or your girlfriend for Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, right.
And they were sugar-free, just like that. And it became a running joke in our family that they were like laxatives. Like, they would give you the worst gas and put you on the toilet. So now I'm starting to wonder, like, what are they putting in this sugar-free candy that is causing you to just completely rid of your insides?
I have no fucking idea, man. There was another one, too, that I was trying to find. And you can imagine where this one was going. I can't repeat it because it was like a novel long of a review on these fucking gummy bears. But the headline was 30,000 feet in the air. You can imagine where that was going. The guy had to get on a fucking airplane. And
no.
Yeah, after eating these goddamn things. And my favorite thing is he said he got stuck seated to these two, like, elderly women. And he had to go. And he had to jump over them, like over their legs, to try to get to the bathroom.
That's a dangerous game, too, though, because when you are about to go,
right,
any sort of physical exertion is dangerous. Like, something could leak out at any moment, and you're talking about crawling over an old lady's lap.
Well, I think in the review, he was like, I'm trying to get over these ladies' legs, and all of a sudden I hear a fart come out of me. And he's like, and I hear the old lady behind me go, was that a toot? Oh, man. I'm going to make this a task for every guest I have on this podcast to read one of those reviews.
Dude, I was just skimming through the 4th review and was laughing to myself because he said, when the rumbling started, I sprinted down the hallway and made it to the bathroom just in time for the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse to stampede from my backside, laying waste to my home's septic system and my will to live. It's written with such elegance, too.
That's the thing about it. They all are. It's like people really want to make a point about these fucking gummy bears, man. It's crazy to me. I knew you'd get a kick out of that, man. I knew you would.
My Diarrheal Gummy Bear Adventure by Shakespeare.
All right, man. Well, I think we covered a lot here today. I do have to let you go, I think, right about this second, because I know you got to go adopt a cat. Dude, it was good to see you. I appreciate you coming on today.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, we got to do this again when we have more time, or you have more time,
Yeah,
for sure. But that cat has to be the priority, and I understand that.
gotta get this cat.
Got to
Man,
get that
I
cat.
let me tell you,
Yeah,
to anybody watching, if you're thinking about moving to California and adopting a pet, think again. It's like adopting a person. It is like the hardest process. Like the application is like long. It took me like an hour just to fill out the application. I filled it out like a week ago.
Jesus, man.
And they've been like emailing me like once a day or two with like a different question. I'm like, why don't you just call me so we can talk over the phone? And then even today, I was trying to go a couple days ago to go see the cat and they
Right.
didn't answer me. And then I tried to go yesterday and they didn't answer me. So then finally they were like, yeah, you can go see it today. And I was like, so can I go home with it today? And they're like, no, you'll have to wait till the weekend. And I'm like, for what? Let me love this cat already.
So basically, what you're saying is you can move to California. It's a good idea only if you don't plan to adopt a cat. Is that what you're adopting?
I mean, there are other asterisks with moving to California. I mean,
Right. True. I
but
mean,
yeah, we briefly thought about adopting a house trained rabbit, believe it or not, because we both really like rabbits.
right.
And it was just as hard to get a rabbit. Like the application process was the same.
What?
I was like, in a way, I'm like, I understand because I don't want animals going to bad homes and people breeding them out and then releasing them to die. And I know California has a big problem with surplus house animals on the streets and in kill rates and shelters and stuff. So on one hand, it's a good thing. On another hand, for somebody that really wants to adopt an animal, it's like pulling teeth, man.
That's crazy. I had no idea, to be honest. Well, you told me that yesterday.
Dude, in Indiana, it's like I want an animal. I go to the shelter and you look in and you're like, yeah, that one looks good. Load it in the car. That's
Yeah.
it.
It's even easier to get a gun in Indiana, sadly. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's all the time that you have. I think I want to get you out of here in time, but I wanted to make sure that one more time you can tell the people where they could find you.
Yeah, just go to Instagram. I try to post about every day. I took a little break there for a while, but I'm getting back in the grind, posting every day. Hopefully, we'll be posting some videos here soon and then get to my YouTube. But on Instagram, it's at the Red Eclectic. You can find the same on Facebook and also on YouTube. And stay tuned for the name of the podcast. And I'm going to post just like you. I'm going to do video with my podcast too, so that'll also go to my
Awesome.
YouTube. So.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I've been having that same trouble being consistent with social media too. So I get it,
It's
man.
work, man.
It's
Especially if you've got like a full-time job, like when you get off work, you don't really feel like making stuff or even just managing a social media account like where I'm trying to post at least a few times a day.
right.
And I mean, it takes a lot of time. I was posting 3 or 4 times a day, and I was spending several hours every day coming up with content because I make my own images and I, come up with my own things to say. And I literally listen to inspirational speeches and I read books to try and find quotes to post. A lot of time goes into it. So it's but it's something that you enjoy doing, but some days it's just exhausting. So that's just a message to the viewers out there. If you've got somebody that you really like following, that you like their content, let them know, because no matter how big or small, we appreciate hearing it because a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah, man. I used to have I understand. I used to have a guy that helped me with the social media, but nobody works for free these days anymore.
Nope.
So,
No, sir.
been a struggle. So I've been trying to discipline myself by posting one thing on all my social media platforms per day at least, just to stay consistent with it. But anyway, Adam, I thank you for coming in, man. This is awesome. I'm happy to see you. I want to get you back in as soon as we can.
Yeah,
So
dude.
that
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, no problem. And guys, please check out the Red Eclectic. And as far as this channel goes, please make sure you hit that like button below, hit the subscribe button below, leave some feedback in the comments section. That's much appreciated. I'll be putting all of Adam's information and my social media information in the description below as well. So be sure to follow us there. Adam, thank you again. This has been Dom's Corner. I've been Dom Martino. This has been Adam Leach, and we will see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother. All right, we did it.